and welcome to our instructional series of videos. In this installment, we're going to show you how to install a pair of drives in the OWC Gemini Thunderbolt 3 dock and dual drive RAID enclosure. We've already gathered our materials and are working on a soft static-free work surface. We're now ready to begin. On the rear panel of the unit, there are two Phillips screws that hold the outer case to the inner assembly and need to be removed. Once these have been removed, tip the enclosure forward and lift the outer case up and off. The Gemini can either take a pair of 3.5 or 2.5 inch drives. It can also accommodate both SATA and U.2 drives, including some single drive M2 to U.2 drive adapters like the OWC Shuttle 1. You can tell the difference between the SATA and U.2 drives by the connector, as the U.2 drives have this extra set of contacts. To install 2.5 inch drives, you'll need the two narrow-threaded, smaller-capped screws from the bag included with your Gemini. Align the connector on the drive with the connection in the drive bay. Then, slide the two together. On the side of the bay is a hole marked SSD, which will line up with one of the holes on the drive. Use one of the small screws to secure the drive in place. Then, repeat the process with the other bay. To install 3.5 inch drives, you'll need the 8 thicker screws from the bag included with your Gemini. Align the connector on the drive with the connection in the drive bay. Then, slide the drive into place. Secure the drive using two of the thick threaded screws on each side of the bay. Then, do the same with the drive for the other bay. Now that we have a pair of drives installed, set the assembly vertical with the ports facing upward. Align the shell up with the assembly so that the ports and cutouts line up, and slide it into place. Finally, replace the two Phillips screws on the back that hold the outer shell in place. Now it's time to set the RAID level for the Gemini. This is done using the directional switch on the back of the enclosure. RAID 0 and RAID 1s are for drives of the same type and size and allows you to stripe or mirror without any extra software. You can use SPAN or JBOD with any combination of drives, but if you're going to use software such as SoftRAID to format them, then your best bet will be JBOD, which will show both drives individually. To set the RAID type that we want for our installed drives, we first need to turn the arrow to the appropriate position with a small flat-headed screwdriver or other small flat object. Since we have two matched drives in this enclosure, we're going to set it to RAID 1 for redundancy. Once you've selected the RAID mode you want, reconnect the power supply and attach a Thunderbolt cable to your computer and the enclosure. Use a small thin object to press and hold the RAID set button for at least 5 seconds. Then release. The RAID mode will be set after releasing the button and will erase the drives in the enclosure. You should then get a notice on your desktop that a drive has been connected and may need formatting. Your OWC Gemini Thunderbolt 3 dock and dual drive RAID solution is now ready to format and use.